don't think their mom is gonna let him come back. All because of you making him get naked, Tommy. I don't care what anybody says, Chucky. Nikki is good. Nikki is sweet. Nikki is Nikki.
I'm here with my friends. Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon.
Let's get naked, gut buckets. This is Big Orange Couch, the 90s Nickelodeon podcast, where we talk about all things 90s Nickelodeon. My name's Joey.
I'm Andrew.
And this is Joseph, one of the Patreon members.
Yeah. And we're on episode number 259. We're talking Rugrats Naked Tommy.
Naked Tommy. I missed opportunity for the whole episode with them referring to it as naked.
For sure.
And
it's
I think when I told you, Andrew, that we were going to do this one, I think I told you Naked Tommy, because just in my head, I thought that's what it had to be. And we've been promoting it, I think, as Naked Tommy.
And I had to go back in the messages, because I was like, did I say Naked Tommy? Is that it? Because when it popped up on the screen, Naked Tommy, just didn't seem right.
Yeah. Did you say Naked Tommy?
No, I said naked, but in my head,
okay.
even as a kid, I'm thinking naked. They always say naked.
Yeah. I mean, the naked really becomes part of, I feel like it's a key term from 90s Nick. You know, it's part of everyday. I shouldn't say everyday conversation. But...
And there is a lot of naked in this episode. So,
man, yeah. And Joseph, this is your first time on, so thank you so much for joining us.
Oh yeah.
You know, I always, for someone's first time, I always ask, like, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself, and also, you know, why Rugrats, why Naked Tommy, anything, yeah.
Well, I'm a 90s kid, so obviously I love Rugrats, and this is just one episode that always stuck out as a kid because it felt so much like a fever dream, and it's just always a funny episode. It's one of the more popular episodes. When I was researching it, it's even Tommy's voice actress is her favorite episode of the whole series, so I think it's a good choice to do.
Yeah,
definitely iconic. Andrew, do you have memories of this from the 90s?
Oh yeah. And it's even like, I mean, this is mid season 3, I guess. It feels like, I guess I just thought this episode was earlier. That's what I'm trying to get. Me too.
Do you think they could get away with this episode nowadays? Would you ever see anything like this on TV?
I don't think so.
Some of those angles they use.
I'm not even sure. I think that any of the content really is like problematic in any way. I just think now it's like too interesting, creative for like a kid show now.
There are some lines early on that we're going to talk about, obviously, that surprised me.
I'm not even sure there's kid shows now that, you know, that this would fit. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to get a Paw Patrol or, you know, like this. It feels like kid shows are just a little bit different narratively now. Yeah, it's a lot more of like follow the adventure or go on this journey or solve the thing. And so
it seemed like butt humor was more in like the 90s. Like all the cartoons just had like random, you know, just like the butt out there, like Simpsons, Ren and Stimpy, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
And now it doesn't seem like the humor nowadays.
Yeah, butts are funny though.
Butts are funny.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of 90s butts now.
The one I mentioned was The Simpsons, the episode where Lisa's first word, where Bart's butt naked, just swinging out on the rope. And woo, woo. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Simpsons has like a lot of butts. Homer running around like almost totally naked.
Great stuff.
Yeah. It would have been interesting if Doug had butts.
It feels like on the line, like it could get away with it potentially.
Rocco definitely had butts.
Yeah, that's what popped in my head when I thought of butt humor is Rocco.
Yeah. And you know, I honestly, even though Rugrats was really creative, I don't think I would have guessed Rugrats would have prominently featured butts, just considering it's about babies.
Yeah.
But maybe that's that's why they get paid the big bucks, and I'm Joe Schmo. But this episode is fascinating. It does seem to have kind of a rabid Rugrats following. I don't want to spoil anything here. We may or may not talk a few YouTube comments. But,
hey, I already beat you to it. I got some down already, and oh my god, it was hard to read some of these comments on there.
Oh my! The comment section it's really a nightmare.
Whoever's listening right now, don't look these comments up. Just stay away from YouTube comments.
I wouldn't recommend it on this episode. The creeps come out.
Yeah.
But there's a few funny ones here, and it definitely just again that terminology naked. It just seems to have seeped into the core of 90s kids.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Andrew, you mentioned this aired mid-season 3. It was season 3, episode 15. It was the first Rugrats to air in 1994. It aired on January 2nd, 1994. We have already talked about January of 94 when we discussed Hard Days Pete. But this doesn't, there's nothing really wintry about this episode, but there's really, Rugrats isn't really a wintry show anyways. It's set in the south, seemingly the Southwest. You don't think so?
I feel like there might be a snow episode somewhere.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's
I'm
one
crazy.
where there was like a blizzard.
Oh,
That's all I can remember though.
Huh. Okay. I always feel like when they're watching TV, it's clearly the Dallas Cowboys on the TV, and also the roof shingles are that kind of I forget what it's called.
Like tiles.
Those kind of southwestern tiles. So interesting.
Yeah,
you know what? Can I just do a little internet research?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna cue the music. Where is the Rugrats set? Okay, here we go. The address is revealed on an invoice in Tommy's first birthday as 1258 North Highland, the original address of Klasky Shupo in Los Angeles. However, an unnamed specific city or state is never mentioned in the series. But yeah, California comes up a lot. And you know what? We get a county name in this episode. Did you catch that?
No.
Yeah, they say what county they're in. But I didn't look up whether that county is a real place because it just sounded so ridiculous. I assumed it wasn't.
Wow, I totally missed that.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a frickin' second. Well, there is a city near Philadelphia, I guess.
I know they go to the Grand Canyon in that one episode, and it seems like it's not a long drive when they go there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, Grand Canyon.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if we're gonna crack the case, but well, Andrew, do you wanna get into this thing?
Sure. Well, looking through Spike's eyes, we enter a tunnel of purple and blue stripes, only to discover that Dee Dee is dressing him in a new sweater.
Yeah.
I just want to pause here for a second just to say, this is it feels like an early season thing. Like, I like what they're doing. This maybe was not the best, to me, choice of items, I guess.
What do you mean?
Like the sweater. I just didn't think it
as the catalyst.
As this just this whole first kind of more abstract scene, like how they do in other episodes.
Oh, the opening shot, the reveal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't feel like it works quite as well as inside a baby's mouth or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, as Stu criticizes their dog's new wardrobe, Spike pushes the sweater off, and Dee Dee tells him he can run around naked if that's what he wants.
Wait a second here. Wait a second. Andrew, I know you've had cats throughout your life. You ever put clothes on them?
I've attempted to put a hat on whatever, but
Cats are
with
impossible.
not much success. Yeah.
Joseph, dogs, cats, have you tried this?
My daughter has a cat. She's 6 years old, so I got a unicorn costume for my cat, and yeah, it's too much work. They'll kick it off, scratch you, everything. They don't like being dressed. Dogs are easy.
Yeah. I have a dog. He could care less. You could really put him in anything and he'll just tolerate it. Even stuff that just looks like it should drive him crazy.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Yeah. He's been BB-8. He's been a firefighter. He's been a hot dog. He's a wiener dog, so he's been a hot dog. But yeah, I think BB-8 was my favorite.
See, when I get another dog, that's what I love doing. Halloween comes around, I'm going to PetSmart and buying every Halloween costume there.
Man, you know what? PetSmart, and they're not sponsoring us here, but PetSmart is a great spot.
It really is. I saw a Sonic costume for a gerbil there, and I'm like, they really got everything.
Boy, yeah, you'd really have to be committed, but it would be funny.
Yeah.
Well, Stu and Dee Dee step away into the kitchen to hear the speech Grandpa Lou has been working on, when Tommy realizes that the reason Spike is so happy all the time is because he gets to run around naked. Tommy decides to try out this whole naked thing for himself, and he loves
it. Yeah, he's immediately into it.
Yeah.
He even goes, right when he takes it off, too. I'm like...
Yeah, he's just soaking it in. Man, do you guys, it's a little uncomfortable maybe, but do you guys have any memories of a kid going through this phase, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm in Georgia, so we get, the summers down here are so humid and hot. I do remember just being in my underwear a lot though, so
yeah.
I know you guys are in Ohio, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So you get like the drier summers up there?
Pretty humid.
It is pretty humid up there.
Yeah.
Probably not compared to the South.
Yeah. Yes. Have you guys been to Georgia?
Yeah, I actually have family in Georgia.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. But just like the Atlanta area.
Yeah, it's then you know how bad it gets down here. So as a kid, yeah, I do have memories of just not being butt naked, but just out in my underwear. I guess this is normal here.
I unfortunately know that I must have done this because there's so many photographs of me as a child just naked, which I guess just my family thought was funny.
Sure,
but. Well, I didn't consent.
No, I'm not criticizing.
Yeah, why is there always those pictures you look back on and you're just, naked in them? You're like, your mom always loves showing them off to family members and stuff too.
Right.
Like...
Yes, exactly. Like, oh, look at Joey blow drying his hair. I'm like, I'm naked. Yeah, but I do love the line where they're like, well, I guess I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but where Dee Dee talks about like, well, it should wear out by kindergarten.
Yeah, kindergarten.
That is a very...
And he's 1 year old, so...
Right, that's 5 years.
Well, when Stu walks in to find Tommy riding Spike bareback, he tries to put the diaper back on, but Tommy refuses to stay dressed.
Deed, what are we gonna do? He won't keep it on.
Stu, it's nothing to worry about. It's perfectly natural.
Natural? You think running around with no clothes on is natural? I don't know what kind of family you're from, Deed, but in my family, we wore clothes. Except, of course, for Great Aunt Lois, but that's another story.
Now, do we ever see Great Aunt Lois in the show at all?
Good question.
It's a good question.
I know there's Miriam.
Yeah, Miriam. Yeah. Let's see. Great Aunt Lois. The answer is no.
No. It might be a good thing, honestly, if that's how she acted.
Yeah.
And I like that. Doing that. Like, name a character that doesn't really exist on the show, just to give you something to think about, and
Yeah, what's the story there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dee Dee assures Stu that it's just a phase, and soon Betty comes over with Phil and Lil. The other babies are skeptical at first, but before long they decide to join Tommy in being naked.
Why aren't you wearing your clothes, Tommy? Are you taking a bath? No, I just didn't want to wear my clothes, so I got rid of them. How come you don't want to wear them? Let me ask you this, Lil. How come you do, huh? Phil, why do you wear clothes? Well, I guess. Why are any of us wearing clothes? All they're good for is getting dirty or wet, and then your mom has to change you and she yanks your shirt up over your head and it hurts your ears. But and why do they do it? So they can put a new shirt on you the next day and see how cute it looks. But it's not cute. It's just hot and itchy. But don't you see, Phil? Yeah, we see, all right. You don't have to wear clothes or diapers. You can be free. Yay!
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this whole scene with Phil and Lil, especially once they all decide to lose the clothes, the framing, just like, because there's so much framing you have to do in these shots just for it to be kind of appropriate. And I was just really appreciating it. Like, boy, they really had to think through every single one of these angles.
Yeah, that's really ambitious to take this kind of thing on. Like, that's the type of thing that I really don't think would get past creators of a kids TV show now. It's like, it just seems like too much work.
Yeah.
And I love when they say the words wrong too. Buck naked. I mean, it's classic.
Naked. Yeah.
When Chaz shows up with Chucky, the babies try to get him to join in, but he's horrified. Which feels like appropriate for Chucky.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Chucky? Need help? No, I don't need help, because I don't want to be naked. It's just not natural. But Chucky, all the best people are naked. Look, Spike is naked, and Susie's cat is naked, and even Reptar's naked. Well, I guess if Reptar's naked...
Oh, Grady Von Goolagong! What's going on here?
They finally convince him to give it a try, but before he can get his shirt over his head, Betty notices what the kids are up to and angrily drags Phil and Lil home. I kind of like the interaction between Betty and
Dee Dee?
Yes, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, you know, it just feels good. Like, they're friends, but it feels, you know, I was thinking about this situation and I was like, what would I do? Like, in Betty's place, what would you do?
If all the children were naked but yours?
Yeah, like you walked in the room, this is what's happening.
I mean, do you really disapprove that strongly? I mean, they're one.
That's true.
I think Betty here is kind of the weird one.
Yes, I mean, that's what my original thought was, and then I started thinking, well,
it kind of seems out of character for her, right?
Yeah, she's usually pretty like freewheeling, no?
Yeah, it does seem like that. Yeah, I don't know, and I mean, also it might depend on like where this was and how well I know the people involved.
That's true. I don't think there's a situation though where I storm out.
No, probably not. Yeah. They had to have a way to get rid of her because she was done in the episode, I guess.
Sure.
So meanwhile, worrying that Tommy will embarrass them at Grandpa's benevolent order of Wombat's dinner, Dee Dee calls Dr. Lipschitz while Stu tries a different approach. As Dee Dee hits a dead end on the phone, Stu presents the family with his new invention, the Pickles Baby Suspenders, designed to keep Tommy from pulling his clothes off.
I'll show him all. No son of mine is going to go through life ridiculed for a trivial but conspicuous breach of the social contract.
I love that line, and like that's something that I definitely would be surprised to hear in a show today, a kid show today.
Trivial breach of a social contract.
Yeah, watching this show older, you appreciate Stu and Dee Dee and just all the adults a lot more because Stu is hilarious in this episode.
Man, yeah, he's great. Grandpa's always great.
Grandpa's great. I even like I like when they start talking to Lipschitz. I mean, not really talking to him, but I like Lipschitz as a character in the show in general. Just like this weird figure that's kind of over everything.
Yeah. I mean, I just love the unwavering trust that Dee Dee has.
Yeah.
You know, just as this go-to guru.
Yeah.
And that whole time on the phone waiting, she ends up hearing the same exact thing. She was quoting that entire time.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
So that night at the Wombat dinner, as Grandpa gives his speech, Tommy conspires with Chucky to break free from his restraints. Making use of a plastic spork, Tommy manages to bust out of his suspenders. Also, I just want to say, I like how these suspenders look. This invention.
Yeah.
Like when Stu pulls the strap on it, and it like has that weird, like air thing that comes out of it. You know?
Yeah.
And just like the back of it, it's a weird, like weirdly complicated contraption.
Yeah.
Also, Tommy broke out of it in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. As Grandpa concludes his speech, Tommy walks up to the podium naked in front of the entire order of benevolent wombats.
Chucky, I'm going out there.
In closing, my friends, I would like to give you a few words of advice, and it's simply this. Don't be afraid of the naked truth. Because when you get down to the bare bones of life, you find out the truth is all we've got. It's like the man said, clothes don't make the man. The man...
Tommy?
Oh, no, Stu.
Don't panic, Dee. We'll just pretend he isn't ours.
Yeah, great line.
Yeah, really good.
And I do love watching everybody in this hall's reaction. Again, little details, but like the animators must have, you know, taken a lot more time to just do all those little reaction shots.
And the music was perfect leading up to it.
Yeah,
very good. Also, like, there's a lot of different designs of people in there. Like,
yes,
it's a lot of work for that one scene. I mean, maybe they reuse some of them throughout the series, but still, it just like feels really full and realized.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but I think just the main thing I couldn't probably appreciate about Rugrats when I was little is just how skillful the animation, just the attention to detail, the effort. It's really there.
Yeah. The attendees' shock quickly turns to applause as Grandpa Lou introduces his grandson to the rest of the order.
Yeah. It's a sweet moment.
Yeah, it's very good. And this final moment, I feel like, really breaks that spell of like, is this a good thing or isn't this a bad thing? It's like this final, like, totally innocent event happening. Yeah, I think it just really concludes.
What do you mean?
Well, I feel like the whole episode is this question of like, you know, should they let him just go around naked or not? And then it finally ends with this like just loving moment of like Grandpa not even addressing it at all, you know?
Yeah. Do you think there's a moral to this episode?
Maybe don't be so quick to freak out about little incident or like little trivial type things.
Okay, I can buy that. I didn't have my own answer. I was really curious. Okay. Joseph, do you think was there anything you were pulling from it?
Just I don't know. I think the message is there. What, like you said earlier on, naked is naked. That's all I took from it. Naked is free.
Yeah.
Well, the next day, it turns out the order hated Lou's speech, but loved his cute grandson.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tommy explains to Chucky why wearing clothes is actually a really good thing, only to finally reveal that he's even wearing them into the bath.
Pretty good final joke.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. Totally good.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, it does fly by. Joseph, you were mentioning it, just like it flies.
Can we talk about that final shot though of Chucky's butt just hitting the screen? They just had to end it like that.
Yeah, Dee Dee scoops him out of the bath, and you get a real
close up. Yeah, it's like the end.
Oh man, I don't know if anybody else did it. I wish I would have. Did anybody count how many times you see a butt in this episode?
No butt count on my end.
That would have been good.
Darn. I'm gonna estimate like 12 times.
Wow. I mean, I think that's a little high, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're probably right. You're right. That's probably right. All right. Well, you guys want to talk about what went into this?
Yes.
Sure.
Hi. This is bios, trivia, ratings, and stray observations.
I can't remember if I for sure talked about this person before, but if so, I think he deserves another shout out. It's the voice of the Wombat President and Dr. Lipschitz. His name is Tony J. He was a British actor and narrator. Yeah. He passed away in 2006. But just to name a few of the many things he's been in. Our Real Monsters, Hey Arnold, Time Bandits, Golden Girls, Twins, Smurfs, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Recess, Johnny Bravo, Erie, Indiana, Two Stupid Dogs, Duckman, Animaniacs, Ninja Turtles, The Tick, Reboot, Captain Planet, Mighty Max, Star Trek The Next Generation, Cool World. If Melissa's, our often guest, my cousin, is listening to this, King's Quest 6, air today, gone tomorrow. He does the voice of our favorite character, the Lamp Trader.
Wow.
And finally, Twin Peaks as Dougie Milford, the old guy that's marrying the really young woman.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a
really interesting guy. And
great resume.
Yeah, for sure.
Those were a bunch of childhood classics right there too.
Yeah.
Isn't there that, Andrew, you've talked about it, isn't there a YouTube series about kind of that guy actors, bit actors?
You know what? Yes. And over the year, it started years ago. At some point they sold it to IMDb and all the episodes got chopped up. I think it might be back now under a different name, but I'm not exactly sure what the name is.
Okay. Yeah.
It just became a mess, kind of.
Gotcha. This guy seems like he'd be good for one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I looked at... so this episode was written by Larry Doyle. Larry also wrote the Rugrats episode Circus Angelicus. But otherwise, he wrote for Liquid TV. He wrote on Daria. He wrote 10 episodes of Beavis and Butthead. He wrote 28 episodes of The Simpsons. He wrote the movie. Do you guys remember this? He wrote the movie Duplex.
I know the name, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a live action movie, right?
Yes.
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller, yes.
Yes, oh my god, yeah.
Ben Stiller, Drew Barrymore, directed by the great Danny DeVito.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm gonna go back and watch that.
I think it's underrated. I think Duplex is due for a rediscovery here.
What year was that?
Probably 02, 03.
For some reason I just remember the commercials for that, the trailer on TV a lot.
Oh yeah, you can't just search Duplex. Okay, hold on. 2003. Oh my gosh. Harvey Firestein's in this thing. Okay, so it's on it's on Paramount Plus, Showtime. Okay. Yeah, Paramount Plus and Showtime.
Did you guys watch this episode on Paramount Plus?
No. I have Paramount Plus, but I have such trouble with it that I just ended up watching it on Dailymotion. Pretty good plug there.
Okay.
Do you have Paramount Plus?
I got Paramount Plus, yeah.
I
get it for free though, so I have the DVDs, but I've gotten to a point where I'm so lazy to put in a disc now. Everything's just on my TV, so
Yeah. No, yeah, Duplex. Go on. It's an hour 29 minutes. Boy, it's fun. It's one of those. Andrew, you've never seen it?
I don't think so.
It's Patreon exclusive. The Duplex.
Oh, that would be fun. A first watch.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It is. You know what? It's a little bit like Meet the Parents, where it's one of those frustrating movies where the people are not trying to be jerks, but everything they do ends up backfiring. It's one of those movies. Just like it's so aggravating, but it's fun. And listen, if Danny DeVito being the director doesn't sell you, I just don't know what will.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that was a long talk on Duplex. He also wrote Looney Tunes Back in Action, and he wrote the movie I Love You, Beth Cooper. So Larry Doyle, pretty busy guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And can we also talk Christine Cavanaugh? Oh, no, you're good. Can we also talk about Christine Cavanaugh for a second, being the voice of Chucky?
Of course.
I know you guys talked about her 100 times, but she obviously played Dexter from Dexter's Lab, too. I'm just wondering if you guys are a fan of that show.
Yeah, I love Dexter. I mean, it's been a while since I've watched it, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly the same. Love Dexter, but I definitely have not seen it in a long time.
Are there any episodes that stick out for you guys that you remember from Dexter's Lab? I know you guys are older than me, so I know you guys were a little bit older when it was airing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this could possibly be like one of the early episodes. I'm not sure, but there's one where he like tries to learn French, and he sets it up so that he's like hearing the French throughout the night, and it ends up like skipping on the same word over and over again, so he can only or like same phrase, so he can only say omelette du fromage.
Yeah, was that an issue in the 90s? I swear that was like the plot for like 10 different episodes where the tape would mess up and then they'd end up only being able to say a certain language.
I think they must have been selling a lot of those like buy, fix yourself on tape type things.
Yeah. I feel like there's a few I remember. I remember there's one where he's like trying to he's worried about an alien abduction, and he's like trying not to be abducted, so he gets Dee Dee to be abducted.
Oh yeah.
And then he ends up regretting it. Oh man, and I feel like there's the dinosaur one I remember. Man, I can't quite remember it, but it was like dinosaur based. Why, is there some favorites for you?
I just remember there is an episode that ends with Dexter accidentally getting naked at the end, and Dee Dee walks in. Yeah, and Dee Dee walks in. I think he was trying to I can't remember what he was trying to do, but he ends up causing himself to be naked at the end, and Dee Dee walks in and she's like, "Mom, Dexter's mooning me," and it just ends. So more butt comedy there.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. I'm sure we have to be missing so many examples of butts from the 90s.
Yeah, we should have done our butt research before this.
Well, I'll post on Patreon. I'll see if people have any good butt.
Yeah, favorite butt memories. That's good.
Okay, trivia. Andrew, you want to start us out?
Yeah. I only have one trivia from this episode. But it's, if you notice at the end of the episode, they have a cereal box on the table. It's called Corrugated Bran Puffs. And this cereal is also mentioned in Season 1, Episode 10B, Incident in Aisle 7.
Yeah. Which is a really good episode.
Yeah, very good. Grandpa's watching Tommy.
Yeah. That's cool. What's the cereal called?
Corrugated Bran Puffs. And the only reason I even thought of it is because in that episode, at the end of the episode, Grandpa says it's so weird. Like, he's reading it as he's checking out, like, Corrugated Bran Puffs.
Okay. Did you have anything, Joseph?
No trivia. The only thing I really had was it was E.G. Daly's favorite episode.
Yeah.
Which is really cool out of all the ones. There's 10 seasons of the show, 11 seasons, something crazy, and that was her favorite one.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I just saw some generic stuff online. This says this is the second time Tommy takes off his diaper. The first is in Mirrorland. Okay, let's move to stray observations, Andrew.
Yeah. Did you catch the name of the place that Dee Dee calls? Like the full name of the...
I don't think I did.
It's called the Dr. Lipschitz Baby Talk Hotline.
That sounds right.
Do you have to censor Lipschitz every time we say it on here?
Yeah.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, how did they get away with that?
Really, yeah. How did they get away with that name?
Lipschitz, like...
that's almost as egregious as I'm blanking on her name, the teacher from Pete and Pete, Fingerwood.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Just that it costs $1.95 per minute. 95 after. A lot of people nowadays would watch this episode and not know what was happening.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Spike gets a sweater at the start of the episode. Do you happen to see what color?
I mean, I think it's purple and blue.
Wow. Steel trap.
Did you this is dumb, but did you happen to catch the last 3 digits of Dr. Lipschitz's phone number?
Whoa. No?
It is 359.
Okay.
Maybe we could reverse engineer it.
What do shirts do? What do they say shirts do when you yank them off?
I have no idea.
No idea.
They hurt your ears.
Oh, yeah, of course. We didn't mention it before, but I really like when Lil gets her shoe taken off. She's like, I feel better already.
Yeah.
You probably didn't catch which hotline lines that Dee Dee goes to, like the numbers that she selects.
Oh wait, well I
9's one of them.
Okay.
I caught press 1 for laugh at inappropriate moments, and press 9 for spontaneously shedding clothing.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. Laughing at inappropriate moments.
I still laugh at inappropriate moments. So
I really want those other 7,
right.
2 through 8. Stu criticizes Lipschitz. Did you catch what he calls him?
No.
Calls him hippie Lipschitz. He says the 60s are over and we lost.
Did you catch the name of the award that Grandpa wins?
The Golden Marsupial Award?
Yeah.
That's the part where he mentions the county they're in. They're in Wissahickon County.
Huh. Okay.
Do clubs like that still exist? Like the Wombat kind of clubs for older people? Like I never hear that mentioned anymore at all.
Yeah.
I think they do. I think a lot of them are more like community type places now. Or like heritage club type places. There's like a place not too far from here for Italians, like old Italian Americans. It's like a heritage club. So I think they're like here and there. I love the idea that I hope they exist.
I do too, right?
Yeah.
Have you had any experience with them?
Not on my end. Nothing over here.
Andrew, didn't your grandpa, like, I feel like I remember him wearing a weird hat.
Yeah, they always have a hat, right? It's always some weird hat they wear.
Yeah. I don't know of anything specifically. I think my great-grandfather actually might have been part of something like that, but I'm not sure what it was.
Maybe it's just, did he wear a fisherman's hat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that had anything to do with the club.
Okay. I think just in my mind, I think when I was a kid, I thought a fisherman's hat was probably fancy.
Oh, sure.
So all this time, I've just probably been like, oh, Andrew's grandpa must have been something important.
Speaking of clubs, there's a pretty good show called Lodge 49 that was on AMC. Very good. Recommend checking it out if you're inclined toward that type of thing.
Cool. Yeah, that's another show I've been meaning to get to. At the end, Dee Dee's reading a newspaper. Do you happen to catch the name of the newspaper?
Ooh, no.
Nope. It's really weird. All capital letters, home.
Oh, well, okay.
It's very weird.
I guess I might have assumed that was just like the name of a section or something. Like home page, sort of. I'm not sure that really makes sense, not on the internet, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you happen to catch the lodge number that Grandpa's a part of?
Ooh.
Sort of tough to make out.
No.
It is number 1258.
1258. Let me think about this number for a second. Okay, cool. 1258. Did you happen to catch Grandpa Lou's middle name?
Oh, yeah. It's Louis Calhoun Pickles.
Calhoun, yeah.
Yeah, they really slipped that in there. I almost missed it. But...
Yeah.
Did you catch the year the order was started?
Shoot.
Oh, man.
Is it 1800s?
No.
I'll say 1920.
I'll go with 1919.
Oh! It is 1902. Also, I happen to catch what year they received the Mayor's Award.
They say it?
It has it printed on one of the things hanging around the lodge.
1993.
No.
I will go with 85.
It's 1958.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty close.
Sure.
Yeah. That's my last one.
Okay. Okay, well, let's look at ratings. This episode has a 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. So what did you guys give it out of 5 Crib stars?
I think it's a pretty good one. I gave it a 4.25. I think it's just a strong episode. It's a very interesting topic. Kind of like heady, I guess, for a kids show. Kind of complicated. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they went for it. And it's maybe, to me, not quite as strong as some of the earlier episodes. And some of the animation is, again, like the Spike Sweater thing again. It's good. It's an interesting thing. I just think it's maybe not quite as successful as earlier stuff. But, yeah, really strong episode. Interesting. I think it's like a good type of thing for kids to see potentially. So, yeah, I liked it.
Cool.
This is one of my favorite episodes. That's why I picked it. I'm going to give it 5 Crib stars. This episode always stuck out to me as a kid, and I still remember it to this day. 30 years later now almost. And it's just a classic. A lot of butt in it. It made me laugh as a kid. It makes me laugh now. That's a high rating for me. So I'm going to give it a perfect 5.
Nice.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I like it.
I'm giving this puppy a 4.5.
Nice.
I think it's a great Rugrats. They're really, to me, is not. I could easily give it a 5, but it's not. I know it's not in my top 5 Rugrats since we've already done that. So
did this episode even come up in that episode? I don't remember you guys talking about it.
I don't know if it does.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Which is maybe an oversight. I mean, between 3 people, but
yeah.
But yeah, it's a really solid episode, really funny, a lot of good jokes, great animation, good character use, and something we haven't talked about yet is that there's no Angelica in this episode.
Yes,
and
probably made the episode better.
I have to say, it's like a bit of a reprieve.
Yeah, I don't want to know how the episode would be with her in it.
Yeah, we don't need her necessarily. So I'm glad they didn't try to just wedge her in.
Yeah.
And probably smart that she's not in this episode. Okay. Do you guys want to name the episode?
Oh yeah,
let's do it.
Well, I called this one Tommy Goes Naked.
Yeah, Tommy Goes Naked. That's good. I like it. Joseph?
Well, I originally had the missed opportunity, which was Naked Tommy. But I might, I might change it up and say, well, I have it the Naked Truth. Lou mentions it in his speech about the Naked Truth, so I'm gonna go with the Naked Truth on this one.
Could even do the Naked.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, the Naked Truth.
Wow.
Edit that part out and pretend I came up with the Naked Truth.
You're 0.5 points go to Andrew if you win.
Yeah, there you
go. Okay, I had 3 titles here. All came from Grandpa Stu's Grandpa's speech and not Stu, sorry, Grandpa. Let's see. I'm gonna go with "Clothes Don't Make the Baby."
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Go around one more time.
Nice. Tommy Goes Naked.
The Naked Truth.
Man, that's good. That's good.
I just came up with it.
No. That's the power. That's the power of 2 brains.
Yeah, there we go.
And "Clothes Don't Make the Baby." We'll post those. I still I'll be posting Snow Day any day here. Oh, okay. So I was looking at YouTube. You guys want to take a stroll down YouTube lane?
Play some really dark music before the segment.
What would YouTube comments do?
Yeah, as we're talking here, I'll just play some depressing, some Elliott Smith song or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't you start us off, Joseph? Because it sounds like you also took a trip down there.
Yeah, I didn't write down any of the ones that scarred me, but
yeah.
One that did make me laugh. You probably saw this one too. Someone said, "Well, I'm probably on some kind of watch list now."
Yes, I wrote that one down. That was "Sleepless Indefatigable" or something like that. Yes. Well, I'm probably on some kind of watch list now. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
What did you have?
Any others?
Oh, I had a couple more. I had.
Go for it.
Someone put, this had to be a little kid or something. They put, "This ruined my mom's childhood." And I was just thinking this kid goes on YouTube just to comment that on this clip.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. And the final one I had was "God bless you, Tommy Pickles," and they had the American flag emoji next to it.
A real American hero. Yeah. There was a guy who was commenting on. So there's maybe 4 or 5 clips from this episode on YouTube. There was a guy named Marvin the Maniac.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't you, is it, Joseph?
No, it's not me. Or is it?
He was just commenting on all of them. One was, "I liked it when Tommy stripped off his clothes and rode Spike."
Jesus Christ. We said we weren't going to talk about these other ones.
Well, I actually wrote that one down because I thought he was trying to be funny at first.
Yeah. No, I saw this guy on there too. He really was on all of them. I blocked it out until now, but thanks.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there was much worse.
Whoa, way worse. Jesus.
Yeah. And then he had another one that said, Philip. I just like this one because it is a good question. He says, Philip and Lillian have never seen each other naked before.
Yeah, because they're like, whoa.
Yeah. They've never taken a bath.
Yeah. They're twins.
But, I don't know if I'm not trusting Marvin the Maniac. So
Yeah. Damn you, Marvin.
It's in the name. He's telling us. All right. We got a few letters. All right. This first one here comes from an old friend, Jacob. This is about his Halloween snick tape picks, which we did last Podtober. He said, "Dear Halloweenies, your Halloween snick tape episode inspired me to make my own tape, Nick Snick's Spaced Out Halloween. It features creepy episodes with sci-fi, space, or alien theme. I tested this marathon over Halloween, and it's a ride. Cue the VHS player sound effect. Imagine you're home from trick-or-treating. You're still full of excitement from your long night. Mom is putting in a spooky VHS to round off the holiday. 8 o'clock, the day the world got really screwed up, Angry Beavers. And you can't help but stare at the TV. Angry Beavers is the perfect opener. You need a special with lots of energy to draw a kid's attention on Halloween night, and this episode is pure energy. Unpredictably bonkers and visually striking with its retro animation style, every kid watching will instantly forget about all their candy in a heartbeat. 8:30, Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Unexpected Visitor. Hell yeah. I know it's weird not to put an episode of this show at the end of the tape, but Unexpected Visitor is a fun continuation of the alien invasion themes found in Angry Beavers, so this spot feels right. Honestly, I had the hardest time picking between all the Are You Afraid of the Dark alien stories. Most of them aren't my cup of tea. There was no way I'd put Laser Maze or Lunar Locust anywhere near this tape. Alright, chill out, Jacob, okay? I don't. And the hatching and 13th floor didn't feel very spacey enough. So Unexpected Visitor was the prime choice. Probably the fastest paced of the bunch, with plenty of suspense too. But boy, those yellow alien net things that capture people in Visitor look so Dollar Tree. There's no one seeing it. 9 o'clock, Pete and Pete, Halloweeny. If any kids are feeling sleepy after meeting Unexpected Visitor, this episode will surely wake them up, reminding them of the magic of Halloween. Halloweeny plays loosely with my sci-fi alien space theme, but hey, Pete and Pete are in space costumes. And there are a few Apollo references. Good enough for me. Let me have this one. Please, let me have this one. Yeah, of course. And we got 9:30, Hey Arnold, Arnold's Halloween. It's time to end this tape with an exciting finale. Why exciting? Because I want my audience to feel so pumped up that they'll watch this VHS again right afterward, getting their money's worth. I also saved this for last because this special emphasizes my theme, mixing Halloween with sci-fi ideas in a way that gives my tape weight and relevance. I mean, come on, what can top a citywide alien invasion panic on the spookiest night of the year? And also, what can top a marathon that ends with Grandma Gertie wishing everyone a happy Halloween? Sincerely, Jacob.
Nice.
Great tape.
Good tape. Yeah.
Really good tape. Love an alien theme.
Yeah, for sure. I could totally, like, if I was a kid, I'd be absolutely into that if I saw that on the shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, I would also be into it as an adult, but...
Do you guys still collect VHSs?
Not really, but I do have some that I've like saved from.
Yeah, I got a bunch saved up too. The Nickelodeon ones are so expensive now that it's kind of hard to collect them.
Yeah. No, I don't anymore, but for a time I did quite enjoy it.
This next one comes from Garrett. He says, "Hey fellas, as a fellow Ohioan, it's nice to know there are fellow 90s Nick lovers out there close to home. I live about an hour west of Cleveland. Anyways, lots of things to say, but I'll try to be short. First off, thank you for the awesome podcast as it fills my unbelievably boring work days with some fun things to listen to and appreciate. I'm actually not a 90s kid per se. I was born in 95 and grew up on early to mid-aughts Nick, Jimmy Neutron, Ned's Declassified, Drake and Josh. But as I've gotten older, I've really gotten into the simplicity of the 90s and really the amount of thought and time put into essentially all the shows that came out during the decade. I've pretty much fallen into the level of obsession as you guys and your guests, if I'm honest. Personally, I'm a massive Pete and Pete fan and have a special place set aside for Are You Afraid of the Dark and Salute Your Shorts. I could go on as there are other shows I love as well, but I'll spare you the details. As for the latest episode regarding Salute Your Shorts Season 2, I think you did a great job breaking down everything about each episode, and I find myself learning more about a show I swear I know the entirety of. So thank you. I'm Team Pinsky over Michael, actually, as I'm a big sports person, and I feel like I'd gravitate more towards him if it was a real-life sort of camp scenario. I feel like Season 2 gets downplayed a bit compared to Season 1 for some reason. They're both brilliant, even in their Fergusons. Some of my personal favorites are Capture the Flag, The Man Who Would Be Ugg, and Sponge's Night Out. I have kids, and choosing between those two seasons is like picking a favorite kid. Can't be done. Anyways, love the show. Keep it up. I rely on it daily for entertainment and reminiscing about a time I'm unfortunate not to have had proper time in. From Garrett. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Yeah.
I do feel like Season 2 was pretty revealing. I think it really helped clarify for me Pinsky. Because I think, Michael's so definitive. I mean, he's really, he's canon. And I think Pinsky, because Season 2 is just, I don't know, less available or less well regarded. I feel like I always struggled to know whether I liked Pinsky more or not. Joseph, do you have a feeling Pinsky?
I think Pinsky probably.
Yeah. He's definitely cooler.
Yeah, he's definitely cooler. And I do like seeing these kids go back and watch these classics though, because you say he was born in 95, he grew up with Drake and Josh, but them going back and like reliving the classics that we got to see and appreciate him is a really good feeling.
Yeah.
Because my brother, he was born in 2000, and now his favorite shows are like Rocco, and I got him hooked on all that.
Yeah.
And now he's finally listening to the podcast, so.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So,
what's your brother's name?
Brandon. Yeah. What up, Brandon?
What up?
It took years to finally get him on it. I was like, hey, check out this podcast. They're cool. He wasn't big on podcasts at first, and then one day he hits me up and be like, bro, I listened to so many episodes last night. It's so good. You're right. They make me want to watch along with each episode, and I'm like, I told you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he helped me prepare some stuff for this, so he knew I was nervous and everything. So thank you, Brandon.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks, Brandon.
I mean, we'll forgive you for being born in 2000.
Yeah, he missed it. He missed the 90s.
No, he's getting the good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do one more email here. This one's from Scott. How bad am I at keeping up with emails? Since this email's been sent, Scott's been on the podcast.
Oh. Hey, Scott.
He's on Patreon. He joined us on the Not Quite Nick Snick lineup, which was really fun. So he said, Dearest Range Bears, I found BOC on a quest to see if there was anyone else out there who enjoyed the adventures of Pete and Pete as much as I did. In the 6 years since, I can honestly say it has somehow had an even greater impact on me than the show's subject matter. It began as my favorite podcast and eventually grew into a weekly escape during the most difficult period of my life. Having recently found myself just about back on track, I felt the need to express the overwhelming sense of gratitude I have for both of you, as well as the show itself. With that said, I also listen enough to know to keep this thing as short as possible, so I'll leave you with the absolute most important highlights. To Andrew. Men in Black, the animated series, is one of the most underrated 90s Saturday morning cartoons of all time, with an even more underrated theme song. It has been stuck in my head on and off for the last 25 years. Not kidding.
Yeah, that came up in the episode that he was on.
Yeah.
And I went back and listened to it just I mean, I knew what it sounded like, but yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it is great. To Joey, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, and A Mighty Win is the cinematic equivalent of a Michael Jordan three-peat, and it's not acknowledged nearly enough. The flu game is impressive, but spoilers, Winky taking home the top prize at the Mayflower Kennel Club dog show is the story that will be passed down from generation to generation. Yes, I mean, God, Christopher Guest is just, man, so good. Andrew, you said you've not seen A Mighty Win or Waiting for Guffman?
Waiting for Guffman.
Okay. Do you like A Mighty Wind?
Yeah.
Okay. More than Best in Show?
Yeah.
Okay. But I think Waiting for Guffman maybe it'll be your favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm writing these down. This is like the 10th time you guys mentioned these on the podcast.
You've never seen Best in Show?
No, but I do remember you getting really mad in an episode when someone didn't watch it. So I'm like, write this down, okay?
Okay. I think I got. To be fair,
nah.
I think I got mad at Andrew, which is not really like getting mad. It's just like come on, watch it. It is on Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, and to each and every member of the BOC's Murderer Row, the single greatest collection of podcast guests ever assembled, stay gold. And he mentions just being excited about the Patreon. He said, "Thank you all, Scott." So, and there's a little gif here of little Pete giving the kissing his thumb and giving the thumbs up.
Love it.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Yeah, super kind
message.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, before we wrap up Naked Tommy, any final thoughts here? Anybody feel like they got to get something off their chest?
I wrote down right here that I do not like candy corn, so add that to that list from like 3 years ago.
Oh no! What are you doing? You were doing so good, Joe.
Let me tell you, I had this conversation with my brother. I grew up kind of, poorish, little middle class, and that's the only candy my mom would buy in October. And
yeah,
I just don't like it. I'm sorry. Who likes it? Andrew, you like it?
Yeah. No, I'm against it.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Joey.
Yeah,
Joey, you were the one that liked it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to apologize. Hell yeah, I love candy corn. Here's what happened. Can we just say what happened here? And this happens a lot. I think Andrew expressed that he didn't like it over something that I like, not even love, that I just like. And so then I just decide to plant my flag so firmly in the ground that something that I don't care about becomes my thing.
Yeah.
So
that's how you know that you have a true friendship, though.
Yeah.
Like when you yell at him for Best in Show, all that.
Yeah, that's right. Andrew, were you going to say something?
No, just notch one up for no candy corn.
All right.
There we go.
Listen.
Find
I
the
do
list
feel
somewhere.
The people I feel have spoken. I know that I think I'm on the wrong side of candy history here. Yeah. All right. Andrew. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I also wrote down at least the CatDog theme song is pretty good.
Yeah.
You think so?
You guys talked a lot of crap about it, and I'm like, that show was not that bad. So I bought the complete series, and it did not age as well as I thought it would. It's not terrible. That theme song is still pretty awesome, though.
One fine day with a wolf and a purr.
Yeah, just add that.
A baby was born. And it caused a little stir. No blue buzzard, no three-eyed frog, just a feline canine little cat dog.
Bow, bow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're reading that.
It's
You're
Do
reading.
you remember it?
Oh, is it memorized or am I reading it?
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm reading it.
You don't remember it?
This is impressive.
I remember the melody.
Okay.
I can definitely give you the melody.
Yeah.
Mainly that chorus. Cat dog.
Oh, yeah,
cat
dog,
dog.
boom, boom.
Alone in the world.
You just made some CatDog fans happy, so.
One fine day with a wolf and a purr, a baby was born and it caused a little stir. No blue buzzard and no three-eyed frog, just a little feline. Cat dog, cat dog, cat dog, alone in the world, little cat dog. Yeah, it's bad. It's
bad.
No, the show is bad.
Okay. You said you heard me about to get angry. I was about to defend that too.
I don't know. I feel like of all my beefs, I have a lot of beefs that are not real. That like I just like having fun a little bit. But my beef with CatDog is real. I think it's not a good show.
Have you gotten any like mad letters or whatever through your emails of like shows you didn't like?
We've had people express that they think I'm wrong. I think Andrew, you're more forgiving towards it.
Yeah. I think it's okay though. We're all gonna have different opinions, but the theme song's good. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, sorry.
Sing it again. There we go.
There's a full version here. There's a longer. Yeah, there's a longer version apparently.
What more can you say about them?
Any other thoughts, Joseph?
I had some questions down here. I didn't know if you guys wanted to be answering it. Just random. One night, me and my brother, I was like, I need to ask them stuff. This is gonna be a shorter episode. Which, since we sang CatDog for 30 minutes, it's not a short episode anymore. But just random stuff that you guys talked about. Like one of the questions was, besides the Twilight Zone, which a great episode by the way that you guys did. Mm-hmm. What is one of your favorite anthology series that you like besides Twilight Zone?
That's a good one.
That is a good question.
Did you guys like the 80s Twilight Zone?
Not nearly as much.
Oh yeah.
I just love like during the 80s everything was just made, like the props and everything. I really love that aesthetic to it, you know.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I sort of like
stuff.
I like Outer Limits, both the original and the 90s
the new one or the old one.
Both of them.
Yeah, same. I've been actually watching some of the newer one.
Oh, nice. Trying to think of.
You got Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, well, Tales from the Crypt, of course. Yeah, I love Tales from the Crypt. Boy.
There's the other Serling, which is Night Gallery.
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't seen any Night Gallery.
Really?
I really need to watch those. Yeah.
It's just Twilight Zone, really.
Yeah, I mean they're substantily worse, but very 70s. You know, you can just feel the 70s seeping through.
Yeah.
And Black Mirror, I guess, would be like the modern equivalent.
There's some great episodes of that show too.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they have a new season coming out, so plug that real quick. Netflix sponsor them.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a comfort show you like falling asleep to?
Lately for me, it's been both either Bob's Burgers or Frasier. Those are my two. Like, I'll just put them on.
Wonder Years and Frasier?
Bob's Burgers and Frasier.
Bob's Burgers and Frasier. Yeah. Okay. I would have guessed. I mean, Frasier seems correct.
I think Frasier. I hear a lot of people say Frasier. Lately, for me, it's been Futurama. I just love Futurama so much.
That's great.
And it never gets too loud. I like the shows that are kind of calmer and stuff. And Futurama's just too good.
You know what?
For sure.
I think I've mentioned it before. It's like a comfortable show for me, and I'll often doze off. And it's also an anthology, which is Documentary Now.
Oh, what's that?
Documentary Now is with Bill Hader and Fred Armisen. In every episode, they kind of make a fake documentary.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to check that out.
It's very funny and it's very just comforting. Andrew, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It feels nice.
My only problem with that is that I haven't seen all the documentaries, so I'm always like, damn, I wish I knew this to get it even more.
Yeah, it does help. Yeah, but any of my favorite comedies, I'll often turn on Nathan For You and fall asleep.
Oh yeah.
I think You Should Leave.
How do you fall asleep to Nathan For You though? Because I'll try and go to sleep or something like that, and like just watch it until it ends. It's just too funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Sure. Is there a current album you guys are listening to?
Oh my gosh.
For me, there's not.
No,
I haven't had like an album.
Well, let me tell you, because my band is from Ohio. Do you guys like The National?
Oh, The National.
They just released it. Yeah, exactly. So they just released a new album called The First Two Pages of Frankenstein. I've been stuck on this, like... It's good to have an album you get to put on repeat over and over again, or a certain song on there you just keep playing.
For sure.
Do you have anything?
An album I've really liked that came out this year is by a band called Dairy Bay, Dari Bay, and the album is called Longest Day of the Year.
Is this indie music?
Yeah, it's indie rock. Very
you like a lot of
song.
soft indie rock, right?
Well, this one's kind of rocking. I mean, this one, it rocks pretty good. I'm trying to think what else has come out. Oh, you know what? I'm so glad you asked this, because our friend Chris, who's often on the podcast...
Oh, I love Chris. Me and my brother laugh every time Chris is on here. Because when he was on there, when you guys brought him back on, he played the Eminem song, right?
Right.
And it was like, guess who's back? And I was trying to think, I wanted to be really funny like he was on the intro. And I was like thinking, like, how could I start it out? And I was like, man, it would be funny if I stole Chris's intro and just started playing the Eminem song. Guess who's back? But yeah, hello Chris, I love you.
Yeah. That would be the boldest first time guest intro ever.
I was like, I don't want to seem like that cocky right off the bat, but next time I'm on Podtober, hit me up.
All right. Yeah.
I will have that song loaded up.
Bring the heat. Well, his band, they're called Gila Beef, Gila Beef, and the album is called Goat Heads, and it's 4 songs, 17 minutes. My favorite is a song called It Could Have Gone the Other Way.
27, I was falling in love, but I didn't think my hand would always fit in the glove. So I let it slip off and blow away. It could have gone the other way. I might have wed that little girl and have a kid on the way. And I wouldn't be what I am today. 2 young lovers drove down the lane, but couldn't see the curve.
It's pretty country. I mean, it's like pretty straight kind of old feeling country, but it's really cool. So Gila Beef is Chris's new project.
Oh, I found it. I'm following him now on here.
Yeah, it's really pretty good. So yeah, I would recommend that. Dairy Bay. What else have I been into? There is another Ohio band called Super Violet. They have a new album out. Infinite Sunset, I think it's called.
Oh, that's a cool name.
So anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff out there.
Okay, let me see what else I got on here. I have a bunch of random. Me and my brother are sleep deprived, just writing stuff down. Do you guys have any podcasts you listen to when you're not making your own?
Andrew?
I know I've talked about this, but I do listen to that Pete Holmes, like You Made It Weird podcast a lot.
Yeah, I miss Pete Holmes being on TV. That dude's hilarious.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't know. They just talk about, like, whatever. He'll have a guest and they'll talk about other stuff, like not so much what they're doing right now necessarily, but like their beliefs and whatever.
Yeah. I'll just shout out some of my favorites. One's called Life of the Record. It's like an in-depth look at a specific album. Mobituaries with Mo Rocca. I like. It's like weird deaths throughout history. They don't post much anymore. Usually only an episode or two a year. But the podcast that made me want to have a podcast is called The Twilight Pone. It's a Twilight Zone podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a good one. 60 Songs That Explain the 90s is really fun.
Hey, they just had a new episode today.
I saw.
Yeah,
like
you saw who
Spirit.
was on there? Courtney Love. I was like,
Courtney
whoa,
Love. Yeah,
yes, how?
Yes,
It's like 2 hours long.
Yep, I cannot wait.
That is a great podcast. Everyone should check that one out.
Yep. I like the King Cast. They just talk about Stephen King books and movies. I like Comedy Bang Bang. It's my favorite comedy podcast. So funny.
Oh, you're a podcast fiend.
Yeah, I'm all over the place for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
And the last question I have: what is your favorite Weezer song?
Oh damn. Well, Andrew, do you have a favorite Weezer song? Andrew's less hot on Weezer.
Yeah, My Name is Jonas is probably my favorite.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
I'd go with Jamie. That's always stuck with me since the beginning.
Man, Jamie's so good.
So good. Underrated.
I mean, it's a classic, but my favorite's always been Say It Ain't So.
Yeah.
One of the great guitar solos. I do love Suzanne a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Perfectly incorporated into Mallrats.
Yeah, that's all. Right when you said that, I was just picture Mallrats.
But that's a very cool song. Yeah. But yeah, Weezer. The first 6 years, awesome. And
amazing.
The last 23,
I actually have a core memory of when I realized I didn't like Weezer anymore. It was like, when did Beverly Hills come out? Because I remember being at a friend's house. It was summertime, and we're in the pool, and that song, Beverly Hills. And I was like, what is this generic? And they're like, Weezer. And I was like, no, that's not Weezer.
Yeah,
and sadly it was.
Yeah. That's probably pretty close to when I was starting to be like, oh no.
Yeah.
That would have been 05.
That was 05? Okay, so I was like 15.
Yeah.
So. Nothing worse than seeing your favorite band, like, they release an album and you just turn it off.
Yep. Yeah. The writing's on the wall. Yep. All right. Good question.
Sorry for making you sad at the end.
No.
That was a very sad sigh, but Weezer.
Yeah, I used to love you, Weezer.
Yeah, I do like your stories about Weezer, though. It's really cool, all the stories you have about them.
Yeah. I mean, I just, there was a 10-year time period where I just aggressively sought out Weezer. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Well, awesome. Cool.
Nice.
Appreciate the question.
Very fun.
Yeah. All right, Andrew. What's on the BOC slate?
Well, next time on Patreon, we'll be talking Erie, Indiana, ATM with a Heart of Gold.
Oh yeah,
classic.
Okay.
Erie, Indiana. We're gonna be talking with our buddy Justin.
Yeah.
Did you like
I'm into
Erie,
it.
Indiana, Joseph?
Yes, I love it. I still watch it too because I think it's on the Amazon, that freebie they have, and that's actually a show I'll fall asleep to. Also, it's like a lighthearted kids show, but I always love that sci-fi creepy element to shows like that. And Are You Afraid of the Dark? Goosebumps. So it's great stuff. Great choice.
For sure.
Also, we'll be talking the Year in Review 2006 coming up pretty soon on the regular feed.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Yeah. I don't remember much about 2006 now, but
for sure. Oh, I've started looking. And that's as much as I'll say.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Here's, all right, I'll give a little tease. So
Okay.
people have something to think about. Because, folks, if I'm missing something here with TV, I need you to point it out, because this has to be the worst TV year I've ever seen. So,
wow.
Let us know. Well, before we wrap up, I wanna shout out our Patreon supporters: Steven, Ryan, Justin, Ashley, Jim, Corey, Zach, Scrump the Giant, Shay, Sean, Nikki, Samantha, Mark, Nick, Alyssa, Scott, Justin, Leah, Mort, John, Tim, Lacey, Colin, Joshua, Damien, Evelyn, Katie, Joseph, you,
Hey.
Bup, Honest Abe, Vincenzo, Chris, Sid, Marlena, Tony, Jennifer, Jason, Bob, Shelby, Brian, Allie, Brad, Kevin, Jordan, Vaughn, Brooks, Katie, Tara, Kev, and Ted. Oh, wait, and Tim and Clayton.
Yes.
Thank you to every single one of you. You guys are
sure.
You guys are making our dreams come true.
Yes.
Yes, the list gets longer every week, right?
Yeah, it's been really reassuring and
hey, that T-shirt sold it for me. I appreciate that. It got here fast too. You guys were like, "Oh, what's your address?" And it was like here the next day. But I love it though. I appreciate it, guys. I'd be a Patreon member without the gifts, but it's a bonus.
No, yeah. We're glad you like it.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
sure.
You guys give us so much content. I know everyone's happy with you guys, and it's cool to see your community growing, especially on being on Patreon, seeing everyone comment and stuff. It's really nice. Everyone's so nice on there, and appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. It's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for those who are not on Patreon, you can find us on Twitter at BOC Podcast, Instagram at Orange Couch Podcast. You can email us at orangecouchpodcast@gmail.com. Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Patreon. Those are all places you can find us. And Joseph, man, what a fun first episode.
Yes, you guys had me laughing so much. The CatDog theme song made my day, made my night. I'm gonna sleep really good tonight. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. Your voice, lovely.
Oh, wow, thank you.
When the episode comes out, I'm just gonna put that on repeat. So.
Oh, I wish I would have put more effort into it. Jeez.
Oh, that wasn't full effort. Wow. Hey, I'll send you my phone number. It's cool.
Okay.
But no, thank you guys so much. It's been awesome. I was really nervous before coming on here, but because I hear your voices all the time, in my head, just every week, just new episode, and they talk to you guys is really surreal. So, but you guys are awesome. You guys made me feel comfortable. Thank you for letting me do this and everything. I hope to be on, maybe Podtober,
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. Remind us. We keep telling people just bother us.
Also,
that's the only way.
Speaking of bothering, you guys gave me no warning, so I'm at work with my headphones on, just minding my own business, and all of a sudden you guys say next episode, Naked Tommy with Joseph. I'm like, I'm gonna cuss right here. I was like, what the fuck did I just hear? I had a panic attack. I was like, what? I opened my phone up, like, did they message me? And I did hit you guys up eventually because I was like, hey, am I supposed to say something? But it was funny though. I'm glad you guys had me on and everything.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
That's a lot of fun.
Oh man. Yeah. Great time. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you guys.
And we hope all you Naked Wombats will join us next episode.
Stay buck naked.
Day, mid-June, naked kids running wild and free. It's summertime fun, relax and stay young. You could be home with Oprah Winfrey. The water feels nice, dive deep down under ships and treasures may creep. Just one of those days, sky blue, perfect wave, come out table, order lobsters and Black Label. Raise your glasses, here's to living out our dreams. Cruising down the highway with my friends, top down, and we're all on our way to the beach. And everyone keeps laughing at those cars we are passing as we're sucking down that funny, funny weed. Oh yeah, oh WART, Ward Radio, Wellsville.
No, the rest of these kind of suck. This
I
one
came across
seems
the same trivia, and I was like, I don't think anyone cares if this is the second time Tommy's taking his diaper off.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Andrew,
yeah,
were you gonna say something?
No, I guess not. Forget it.
Um,
Wasn't a
now
fully
I'm
formed thought, but sorry.